Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you the drawbacks and the benefits of doing rent to rent through letting agents or going direct to owners. So firstly, let's talk about the benefits of doing rent to rent through letting agents. The first thing is they have multiple properties. Of course, they're a letting agent, right? They're going to have a number of properties, and also landlords or landladies, when they're looking to put their properties onto the market, they will be going to the letting agents. So if you can get an agent on board, potentially not only will it all be one property they might be able to feed you, they might be able to feed you multiple properties, which is going to save you time and money marketing yourself out to these owners. If you could just get a couple of letting agents on board, they can start to feed you property. Now, benefit of going direct to owner is you don't need any experience. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, from my own personal experience, what happened when I first started trying to do rent to rent through letting agents is when you're looking to do a company let, if that company hasn't rented a property or has no financial backing, hasn't been created or existed for long, then they're going to require you to be a guarantor. However, when you do it with owners, they're not going to check your financial background, they're not going to check potentially the company's financial background, so you don't need any experience when you're looking to do rent to rent direct to owners. Another big benefit of doing rent to rent direct to owners is you don't need any money. When you do rent to rent through letting agents, you will need to pay deposits, you will need to pay letting agent fees, all of these things. You don't need to do that when you're going direct to owners because you'll be taking deposits from the tenants, and obviously you don't need to pay any fees to an owner when you're managing their property for them. Again, a big benefit for myself, when I first started out in property, I didn't have thousands of pounds laying around to be able to pay deposits for properties to letting agents and then hundreds of pounds to pay them for some fees. Now, you do still need some money when you're doing rent to rent direct to owners, but you don't necessarily need that money yourself. And I'll do another video on how you can get the money to start your rent to rent business if you haven't got any money yourself. Another benefit is it's much easier for you. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you do rent to rent through letting agents, in effect, you've now got an extra middleman in the way. So you'll have the tenants, then you'll have you, then you'll have the letting agent, then you'll have the owner. So there's a long chain of people in this property. But obviously when you do it direct to the owner, it's much easier. It's just you, the owner, and the tenants. You don't have to report issues all the time to the agent, and then the agent goes to the owner, and then it comes back, and it just all gets a bit complicated. Another benefit is it's also much more beneficial to the owner. Firstly, the way I do rent to rent is I guarantee them the rent each and every month. So unlike letting agents, if they don't have a tenant in the property, the owner won't be getting paid any rent. Whereas the way I do it, and the way I would suggest you guys to do it, is when you do rent to rent, you guarantee the rent to the owner each and every month. So then when you're speaking to them, you can say that, look, regardless of who's living in this property, I'm going to be paying your rent each and every month. Another huge benefit is I don't charge 10% off of their rental amount. So for example, if an owner wanted to rent their property out for £1,000, a normal letting agent would charge around about 10%. So they would be deducting £100 off of that rent each and every month. Whereas with me, if we agree £1,000 a month, I won't be deducting anything from that. We agree 1,000, that is what the owners will be getting. So not only will they be getting it guaranteed to come each and every month, so there's zero voids, they'll also be getting 10% extra as of what they would be if they were using a normal letting agent. So there's just a few of some of the benefits of using rent to rent direct to owners as opposed to letting agents. In my experience, the only one real big benefit to using letting agents is that they can bring multiple properties to you. Now, I've kind of already spoken about the drawbacks to using letting agents, but I just want to clear it off one more time. So a big drawback is you need money to start off with. You'll need to pay fees and you'll need to pay deposits on a property. You'll also need experience, or you'll have to be a guarantor. So again, an issue with myself when I first started out, my company didn't have any trading experience, so they wanted me to be a guarantor, which, because I was unemployed at the time, I couldn't be a guarantor. So ultimately, that meant that I couldn't do letting agents direct to owners because I didn't have any provable income and I didn't have any money. And I've also just put on here, don't get it. Now what I mean by that is a lot of agents just don't really understand what rent to rent is, how it works. And for 6 months I was trying to get my business going through letting agents, but it was kind of like banging my head against a brick wall. A lot of them hear the term rent to rent and they think about subletting, they think it's illegal, and they say that they just don't do it. So it can be quite challenging to get properties on a rent to rent through letting agents. So in my personal experience, I found it much easier going direct to owners as opposed to going through letting agents. The only real kind of drawback you've got when you do rent to rent direct to owners is it's more work. Okay, you've got to put in a bit more effort. You're not going to be able to go and speak to 2 or 3 letting agents and maybe get a rent to rent on board. When you're doing rent to rent, direct to owners, you've got to market and target a large area. So you've got to try and speak to or try and get in contact with a lot more owners. But in the long run, it's definitely worth it. If you can kind of push through that barrier of getting your rent to rent business going, this won't take long. It only took me 2-3 months to get the ball rolling and get the wheels turning. So yes, it's a bit more work at the beginning, but in the long term, it's definitely much better for you if you could do rent to rent through the owners. Now, I plan to do another video really soon around why an owner would let you use their property as a rent to rent. So if you want to know when that video is ready and comes out, subscribe to my channel. You'll be sent an email as soon as it comes out. And hope you enjoyed that video and I look forward to speaking to you really soon.